Hey YouTube, this is Dave, and today I'd like to talk to you about hands-free and eyes-free in your car using your iOS device, the iPhone 5. In this example, I have it suction cupped to my TV so that you can see the iOS screen and the screen that's being displayed out into your car or to your home television. In this example, I'm using HDMI connection via the Civic 1, and the Civic 1 is not available yet. It's in beta testing, but will be. And this is a great way to get your iOS onto your screen in your car. It has an HDMI out and has a 3.5mm to RCA. And what it does is it allows you to AirPlay mirror your device right onto your screen. And it doesn't use an internet connection. In other words, you don't have to tether. You don't have to have a MiFi in your car. It basically just emits a Wi-Fi signal, and it allows you to connect your iOS and get your image on the screen at no cost, except for the initial purchase of this unit. So that's how I'm getting my iOS up onto my screen. And now I have SB Rotator. It's a Cydia tweak, which allows you to turn your phone sideways and have everything in landscape. So with that said, let me talk to you about the current issue and the current problem that we have with iOS 6 and the iPhone 5. Now, when you speak to Siri in iOS on this iPhone 5, you have to talk through the mic in the iPhone, and it will take the commands. And then when it responds to you, Siri, it will respond out of the speakers in the iPhone. And that's a major problem. And it does it together at the same time and not independently. iOS 7 needs to address that. Apple needs to address that and fix that in order for it to use devices that you want to use to have hands-free and eyes-free. But currently, this is the way I have it set up. Now, you can use a microphone. This is called the Scosh, and this microphone connects Bluetooth to your phone, and you could speak into it and give Siri commands from far away. You know, because the microphone in the phone, when you have road noise or you have the air conditioner on or you have people talking in your car, it's hard for Siri to hear you. So I use a microphone, but the problem with that is when Siri makes a response, she tries to respond through the microphone that does not have a speaker. Now, the other thing you can do is you can have the Blue Ant. And the Blue Ant is a voice-controlled system. It has a speaker, it has a microphone, and you can make your commands into Siri. But unfortunately, when it responds to this very tiny speaker, and with all that road noise, you can't hear it. So I use that once in a while. That's a good feature, but I'd rather just try to talk through the microphone, keep the iPhone close to me, suction cup to near my face, and I can do my commands. And then when I gotta hear Siri, I hear her through the speaker in the phone, which is not good because that is also small speakers and you can't really hear. So once they address this issue, and once you connect a device Bluetooth and you can independently send your command through a microphone, an external microphone, and Siri responds connected to your audio in your car so it comes out of your speakers, then we have it fixed. And I think that's what Apple's going to need to do in order for it to work. So now we have our phone there, we have our screen mirrored via the Civic 1, and now I have multiple tweaks in Cydia that I got from Cydia that allows me to use Google's voice to text and use Google Assistant and hand things over to Siri and use Siri, all by using this remote. Now this remote is great because it simulates the home button. When you press and hold it, it won't open up Siri. It will open up whatever you have connected to your home button. So let me give you an example of this. You can use both services all at the same time without touching the screen hardly and using a remote that you can memorize by feel, which is the home button. So let's do it. And that kind of keep your eyes on the road. So let's do something simple. What time is it? The 4G in my basement is horrible. We have it 4G, so I put what time is it? And it will search faster when you have a better signal, of course.
The time is 12:25 p.m.
Alright, so that's Google Assistant answering me. Now let's get Siri to answer. Siri, what time is it? Now the voice to text is so much better with Google than it is with Siri. Siri doesn't wait for you like Google does. You can speak in like a bad accent, and it'll recognize it better because Google just has that better voice recognition. So now let's open up an app. I like to come out to the home screen. Like I said, it's a home simulation. And I like to say, open Spotify. So now it's going to open up Spotify. I only have one bar in the basement here. It didn't hear me. So actually it did hear me. So now it opens up Spotify. Unfortunately, you got to touch the screen to start it up because I don't have an account, but it will start the song. And the good thing is you can use the media controls to fast forward to the next song. You can raise and lower the volume, which is nice. And we'll just pause it out and we'll come out of that. Okay, so we pause Spotify. Now let's say you want to get navigation going. So best way to do navigation with this setup is to say in transit after you ask your query. So here it is. Siri, give me directions to work in transit. So now it's going to hand it over to Siri. It's Siri. And it's going to get directions. And what it's going to do, it's going to allow you to choose which app you want to use. You can use Apple Maps if you just say, Siri, give me directions to work. Or you could say in transit and you'll get Google Maps and MapQuest, whatever you have installed on your device. So that's a good thing. I'm not going to get too into this. Let me move on. Now, SB Rotator has a little bit of an issue. It takes a little time. It's a little laggy. Sometimes you have to go to Spotlight and hit it again, and it'll go back into landscape. So landscape's nice on your screen. Just imagine this in your car radio, and that's pretty good. So now we can send a text like, send a text to David Ferrandino. Hello, how are you? It's not going to recognize it because I said the last name wrong.
You have 2 phone numbers for contacts named Ferrandino David.
All right, so
Which
whatever.
one should I use?
And then you got to,
or home?
you get the idea. I don't know how to do Siri voice commands too good, so I have to, practice on what I can say to Siri. But like I said, you could use Google Assistant, you could use Siri, and you can use voice commands. Unfortunately, this setup is not going to solve the problem with the microphone speaking into the microphone on your iPhone, and it's not going to solve the problem with Siri speaking back through the iPhone speakers. When Apple fixes that, it's going to be a great thing. You could use this remote. You can remember where the home button is, press and hold it, and it will open up Siri and Google Assistant and all that stuff. So let me show you now in Cydia, in settings, what I have set up so that you can get this setup going. I love this remote. Beats touching and trying to look for an app. Like, you could look for an app. Watch. Open Sling Player. So basically you can open apps now with Siri, and it will open up your apps. You have to touch the screen, connect, whatever. But it minimizes the amount of times you touch your screen or look at your screen and try to figure out where is my Sling Player app. So basically you got the idea. You can send text messages, you can open up apps, you can do whatever you want, you can press and go back, home button, you can raise the volume, you can lower the volume, you can hit play, it'll play songs, you can pause songs, you got the idea. If you have any questions, please comment and I'll test it out for you. I'll maybe even make a follow-up video, but make sure you subscribe because I got a lot of things going on here. I got the Kivik, I got all these different devices that I can hook up. And maybe with iOS 7, we'll get some things fixed in the way that Siri behaves on the iPhone in regards to connecting Bluetooth devices and peripherals and wires and things like that. So let's jump to settings and I'll show you what I have going. Okay, in this particular setup, let me show you what I have on my jailbroken iPhone 5 in order to get these things going. So first things first, you're going to have that Google app. So you download it from the Apple App Store and you sign into it or whatever, and you have the Google app. Now let me show you what I have in settings and what I got from Cydia. And the important ones to have is the Google Geary. Google Geary is what allows you to have both the Google Assistant and Siri on your device at the same time. You could set it up all different ways where you have to speak the name Google in order to do Google queries, or you have to speak the name Siri to have Siri queries. But if it's a system command and you say Google, open up an app, it will jump it right to Siri, and Siri will take over, and that's good. You could set it up multiple ways in settings here. Now the other thing I have on my phone is I have Now, and Now is just a way to tell the iOS device, if you press and hold the home button, instead of Siri popping up, it will jump open Google, and that will be a good thing. I also have SB Rotator that allows me to rotate the screen. Now all these apps, in some way they use the Activator app that you see here on top. That's just ways of setting up different commands like button presses or swipes or gestures or something to open up certain things or close certain things or whatever. So what you need is Activator, you need Google Geary, you need Now, and SB Rotator for this, and you need the Google app, of course. And it's great. Now the hands-free didn't work too good. I downloaded that from Cydia, and with all the road noise, it's hard to hear. And once again, when Apple fixes this, when it's not necessary to use the iPhone speaker and the iPhone mic, this is going to be so much better, and that's probably how they're going to get hands-free and eyes-free working. But for now, you could use this. You could use that remote. That's the Hitachi remote. I have a link in the description. You could try all this Blue Ant, and you could try the Scosh mic. But with all these Cydia tweaks and all these different commands, you get the best of both worlds, all worlds, and that's pretty much it. So make sure you comment if you have any questions. I'll try it out for you. You can open up apps with this. You can do everything, and it'll keep you a little bit safer, much more safer, if you're using the remote and you're using these services that you get from Cydia. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you.